Shalom, all praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua Hashem, Kadesh, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Rule and Shalom to the brothers doing the work of sincerity and truth. There's a video, got this video on this, got this article on the Sun. What? No jab, no pint. Pubs will be allowed to ban boozers who haven't had the Maxxine, and punters may have to show proof of jab or test. Yeah, so this is something that in the UK they said maybe a month and change ago, they said they weren't looking to do it for like to like go cinemas or go to pubs or whatever. But I remember when I did a video about that, and I was like, yeah, they're saying that, but these men are 100% gonna enforce that. They're gonna have that pushed out, and then lo and behold, you know, here it is. So, and it's at the time they said, oh no, there's nothing to worry about, but then it's just like with everything. They always said that. They even said with requiring the Maxxine passports for travel. Oh yeah, there's no plans. There's blah blah blah. We're not really thinking it's gonna need to be a thing. Lo and behold, it became that thing. So it says pubs are to be allowed to ban drinkers who have not had a vaccination. Punters may have to show proof of a jab or recent negative test to get a pint. It says Boris Johnson told MPs yesterday it may be up to the landlord, adding the concept of Maxxine certification should not be totally alien to us. But last night, Tory MPs slammed the idea of showing papers for the pub. Government sources told The Sun that allowing pubs, bars and restaurants to set their own rules was within the scope of a review being led by Michael Gove and due to report back next month. Mr. Johnson previously poured cold water on the idea of a Maxxine passport being needed to nip into a boozer, but speaking to a committee of MPs yesterday, he indicated the decision will be handed to individual businesses. Yeah. Remember it was mentioned before, they said, yeah, no, it's nothing to worry about. So that's why it's like all these things, it's, that further restriction, basically maintaining all these kinds of barriers. So you need to, integrate with the system. And, for now it's at max. But it's gonna be that mark, man. It's gonna be that implantable chip, man, the mark of the beast. That's gonna be what's required to, to be able to do what you want to do within society. And it's it's clearly ramping up to that. It's not, you've not had a decline. It's only been a gradual incline, man, in restrictions and in restrictions on what's what you call it, like the elements of the New World Order plan. Let's say that. So this is what in Israel, the law of pubs and bars has been used to encourage younger people to have the max. So yeah, it's about promotion and basically just being like, hey, look, see how much fun everyone else is having. All you have to do is get the max to get. And what does it say? It says similar plans are being studied here, but will meet fierce resistance. So yeah, it's like over here, it's not gonna be as easy to push it out, but they're still gonna do it because people are broken, man. People have been broken by by the lockdown in the UK, and it's like, if it's a thing of, they say, hey, look, you need to do X, Y, Z for you to be able to return back to normal, and then there's people pushing back like, hey, we don't really want to have to do that. You're gonna have a big amount of masses that are just gonna be like, look, just do whatever, just do it. I want to be able to get back to having fun. These guys are just looking to have fun, man. Man, I think about then when they're gonna be able to go on the summer holidays. Thinking about being able to go to festivals, being able to go around their mates, go to the pub, all these things. Because if they're not doing that, Why are they even alive? So for them, this shit is life or death, man. And that's why it's like they'll bow down and do whatever to allow this society to continue and allow them to continue to enjoy all the folly within it that they usually do. It says the C Research Group of 50 backbench conservatives last night warned we must not fall into this ghastly trap. Boss Steve Baker said the PM was treading a dangerous path when he opened the door to see certificates. He added, first they said we'll need them to watch the football, and today there may be papers for the pub. Yeah, and it's going to be even more. Because once it's putting certain things, and the thing is as well, it's like they're going to be able to run, because, well, they mention it here. So it says pub chiefs hit out too. Greg Mulholland, chairman of the British Pub Confederation, said for the government to abdicate responsibility and ask pubs to make a moral judgment is just not acceptable. On top of having to take on extra staff to serve people at tables, the idea pubs can take on staff to act as door staff for Maxxine passports is absurd. Pub bosses could face the choice of being half full with social distancing rules or use certificates, and they can open at full capacity. Yeah, so because you have the option of most people, pretty much everyone's gonna be like, fuck it, Maxxine passports, and then run at full capacity because they're gonna be thinking about making that cash money. And that's how you're gonna have this. This thing is gonna get pushed out, man. Because, what was I gonna say? That's something, because they said what it's like he said, it's a slippery slope from it went from football to now pubs. It's probably gonna be spread to like cinemas, other things where, well, actually maybe not cinemas because they're so fucking big. Actually, I don't know. Because if it's like a Marvel movie or something, I guess they'll want it full. But for restaurants, coffee shops, all these different cafes, all that shit, they're gonna wanna just run at full capacity so they can maximize the amount of money they're making. And and the thing is it's gonna be digital, so it's probably gonna be a thing like what the fuck is it called? Track and trace. That's the one. Track and trace. It's probably gonna be like track and trace, where you just come in, you check in, and then they'll have someone check you in with your passport. So yeah, it's gonna be expanded, because like especially once it's out, it's wow. Once it's out, it's gonna be expanded, man. Because one company is gonna see one company, one enterprise will see, how other companies are back making money or whatever. If it gets to that, because it's what it says, pubs and restaurants May 17th, so there's still like a month and a couple weeks. So yeah, we'll see, but it's and as well, you had like Europe going back into lockdown. I think Germany's meant to have reversed it, funny enough, but yeah, it's hey, people are eager and willing to do anything, man, basically to get back to to normality. So yeah, that's why it's not a marvel, it's not a surprise when they say, oh, it's just on this scale. It's not a surprise it's going to increase. Eh. Isaiah 47:10. It says, "For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am and none else beside me." Yeah, Esau's basically he's you know using wickedness, man. He's using all these different psychological operations, man. He's psyops on the people to basically break them down, batter them, and destroy them, and get them to accept his what do you call it, man? Whatever he desires, man. His new world order plans, basically for them to get through and get people to accept and integrate with it, man. Because it's you think about with this thing that's going around, this thing's been it's been weaponized and utilized to push through a lot of legislation, and it's basically shifted the status quo, what people kind of accept as just how things operate. It shifted it greatly, man. So they've been able to get a lot off of it. So that's a trend that's gonna continue. That's what all these unrighteous plans Esau's trying to enact. These elites are trying to enact. What's ultimately what these guys don't realize is it's all for Israel. Let me quickly get. Okay. Job 20:22. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he's eating. Yeah, so this is the thing is the Lord is with Esau's plans going out to a certain extent. It's you go to Revelation, the prophecies, and it's like the mark needs to go out. That mark needs to go out in a mass scale. You're gonna have you have nukes fly off. You have Third World War kick off. You have civil unrest hit a peak. The all these things need to occur. So it's all for prophecy. So that means Esau, and these things are in line with the plans of the elites of Esau. But what it's not. The end result is what? It's not going to be for them getting the W. This is what the Lord's when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast a fury of his wrath upon him. So it's gonna be how about Shem Shai who gets the last laugh, man. So back in Isaiah, it says a mischief. Wait. Okay, yeah. So verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Yeah. It's gonna be a shock. These guys are gonna be thinking about they're locking in the final. These guys are gonna be up in underwater bases, up in space, up in the heavens. They're gonna be in their strongholds, in the depths of the earth, thinking that they've got their W. But it's something's gonna take them by surprise. You're gonna have angels busting in, grabbing these guys up, man. When America's being destroyed, Yahushua is making his return. These guys are gonna be grabbed up, man. These guys that think they're the ultimate power on earth, they think they've substituted themselves in for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're gonna find what? It's not so. They've been hoodwinked. They've been tricked. It says, stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast laboured from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Yeah, so all that sorcery was within witchcrafts. Because that's the lion's share of how Esau pushes out his plans, man. He does these things through witchcraft, through the left-hand side, man. It says what? Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Yeah, so all these witches, all these different channels through the left hand side that you're inquiring of for some form of salvation, for you to be able to complete your plan. These things is these things are not in your are not in your favor either, because they're telling you lies, man. You're being deceived, just like how you had with Israel, where you had the prophets, where the Lord will put a lying spirit on certain prophets, man, where they'll become a false prophet and start talking shit, and then get a king hemmed up and destroyed. That's the same thing going on with Esau. That left hand side you're inquiring of, you're thinking that's allowing you to put one over, but these guys are in order underneath Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They're doing as told, man. They're basically putting a battery in the back of Esau to go and enact these plans. Because why? It's the same thing as with Pharaoh back in Egypt, man. He's being built up for that great and magnificent destruction. And that's why it's like all these guys from the left hand side. Same thing with Balaam and Balak, where Balak was like, curse them. It was like, yo, you can't curse what the Most High has blessed. You can only bless them, and then the curse will rebound back on you. And that's what's gonna happen with Esau, because it's just like now, with the cup. Jake's been has drunk of the cup, but then what? It's Lamentation 4:21, I believe, where the iniquity is accomplished. So you no longer drink, but it's what? It's going to go around to the heathen. Heathen are going to drink. And it's the same thing with curses. Curses that are on Jake now, they're going to be put on the heathen as well. And Jake's going to get them blessings and be in the kingdom, man. And then everyone's going to have to serve. After 1,000 years, Esau's going to have to be ground, put in pits and burned till none remain. It says what? Behold, they shall be as stubble, and the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Yeah, so guys gonna get burnt up and destroyed, man. America's gonna be wiped out. America's gonna be annihilated, man. America's gonna be done. Like they ain't gonna be no it's not gonna be a nation, man. It's gonna exist as a high holy day that's celebrated. That's gonna be the only commemoration done. And that's going to be because of the judgment that was done, man. This is the grand crescendo of what the Lord's basically been doing since the time of the garden, man. Since the earth was made. Since the worlds were made. So, yeah. But, yeah. I'll leave it there. Shalom. Yabashim Shabashim Makakadash Bakata. Shalom.